Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Regina Sunshine, coming to you live from what is always a beautiful day for me here in Douglasville, Georgia, with the Regina Sunshine Show, where I bring you my version of midday motivation, helping you get a Regina Sunshine state of mind. And I'm so excited to be back. I have been on hiatus for, it's almost 2 months now. It started off because we had a couple new shows starting, and I wanted to focus on their shows. And then I took a summer assignment for APS. I forgot what it was like to be in the classroom with those kids, but I'm glad to be back. It was interesting. It's always a blessing to work with our kids, but you have to readjust yourself to their language and conversations after having been away for a while. But I'm so glad to be back here July 1st. I'm starting off this new series of shows with one guest, and I know you're like, one guest? Normally I have 3 or 4 guests in an hour's time, but it's so fitting this first show back. I have one guest that is going to blow your mind. I met her, and I don't get into it. If I get into it now, it's too much. Anyway, I knew from the moment I met her, her spirit was beautiful, and she's someone I wanted to be around. And so we'll talk more about that later. But just a couple of announcements for things that are coming up for Regina Sunshine Global Network. For those who don't know, on August the 24th, we will celebrate the 5-year anniversary of the Awesome Girl Awards. I'm so excited. We've been doing the Awesome Girls for 5 years now. It's where we honor girls ages 5 to 17 that are excelling in whatever their area of gifting in. In the past, we've had girls that were inventors, that were authors, athletes, scholars, who were leaders in the community, who had great community service. And the whole focus of the Awesome Girl Awards is to give us an opportunity to celebrate our girls for the things that might not normally be celebrated for. You know, in school, they celebrate them for academics and athletics, right? And some of the ones that are entertainers may get some recognition out in these streets. What about the ones who are great leaders in their community, who have great community service, who are maybe shy, but they're great writers or they're great inventors? So we wanted to be able to celebrate our girls for whatever their individual gifting and purpose was. And so we founded the Awesome Girl Awards. I'm so excited that this year, the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA has partnered with us. And so we'll be having the awards show at at the Y. I'm so excited. Thank you to everybody there, especially Michael Supreme, who is over student activities there, who is actually one of our RSGN team members. And the thing that we're doing this year to celebrate the 5 years is we are launching the Awesome Girl collaboration book. That's right. We will launch the book on August the 24th. We've got 30 girls, ages 5 to 17, that have all written a chapter in our book about why they believe they're an awesome girl. The whole purpose of this book was to give girls everywhere in the world a chance to read about all these different girls, find one girl that they have something in common with, right? And then if she's an awesome girl, that means the girl that's reading it is what? An awesome girl. And so it helps us deliver the message of self-worth and self-love across all the boundaries. So I'm so excited. You guys got to come out. Again, that's going to be August the 24th. Andrew and Walter Young YMCA. Some of the performers, well, this is the thing, it's an all-girl award show. So we got a lot of our past awesome girls that are coming to participate. In fact, our second class of awesome girls, daytime, who people have seen all over the country, is our MC. We've got from the third class and the fourth class, we've got 2 different chefs. Chef Shayla Wright and Lauren and Chef Lauren. They're going to get together and they're catering the event. We've got a girl DJ, you name it. We've got a girl violinist that was actually our 4th class. I'm trying to remember all these girls. We've got a girl spoken word artist, Janae. She was in our 4th class of Awesome Girls. And so the entire award show, you may see me and one other adult, maybe some sponsors hit the stage, but other than that, the girls are running the entire show. And I'm so excited. So you can actually go to my website, reginasunshine.com. If you want to sponsor, be a vendor, or just financially support our efforts with the Awesome Girls. And also, we are taking our nominations right now for the girls we're going to honor in this class of Awesome Girls. So you can go to reginasunshine.com, and all I need to know is her name. If you have a bio, because a lot of these girls don't have bios yet. If there's a bio, send us that. And then why you believe she's an awesome girl. All right? And we're going to have a good time on August the 24th. I think that's it for the Awesome Girls. It's like the favorite thing that I do. We do it for the boys, too, because we do the boys. It's called Young Boss and everything. But they're a year behind the girls. So for us to have made it to this 5-year mark and to be able to do some truly special things for these girls every year and to see them come back and want to be a part of the program every year and support the new girls that are coming on board is priceless. I love every minute of it. All right. The last big event for the year is Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week. That is, and I don't have the dates down here, Miss Producer. If you could look up for me and see what that 3rd week of November is. I know it ends on a Saturday, November the 16th, but we kick off that Tuesday with an online kickoff. That Wednesday we have a comedy show hosted by Miss Jen. You guys probably familiar with her. She opened for Cat Williams last year. Thursday we'll be doing spoken word with Journey the Poetess over at Urban Grind. We've got a young lady, Akila Benjamin, coming in that Friday to do a Network Your Curves Off event. And then Saturday, right here at Regina Sunshine Global Network, we'll have our 3rd annual Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Award and Fashion Show. And tremendous women that will be here being honored, including every year we have an Overcomers Award, which is named in my grandmother's honor, for a woman who has overcome tremendous odds and obstacles to continue to do great things and continue to be a blessing to God's people. So again, you can go to reginasunshine.com and get more information about the Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week. All right. And then as far as our RSGN lineup, normally at 5 o'clock today we would have the Sunflowers in Motion live line dance and health awareness show. But Miss Barbara is on vacation, y'all. So I hope y'all hear this before y'all show up out here trying to line dance at 5 o'clock today. But she will be back on the 3rd Monday. So this month only, the 3rd and 5th Mondays, she'll be here at 5 o'clock. So come get your line dance on. We'll be looking for you then. And then at 9 o'clock we have The Curve, which is a roundtable women's talk show from a curvy woman's perspective. It's hilarious. Just watch it. All right. I think that's it. If you got an idea for an out-of-the-box show, a game show, because, we're in the process of pitching. Y'all, my hairband is sliding. Anybody knows my hairband was sliding but me? I'm always looking for out-of-the-box show ideas, things that we can do here to bring the community in. We have the space to do that. So if you have an idea for a show that you want to do that's community impacting, we can, bring some community members in, maybe a forum, anything that maybe you thought you couldn't do on television / radio, internet, come see me. We have the space out here and we're ready to work with you. All right. The last thing, I always go to my first break mentioning what I'm thankful for. And I tell you, I'm in a season of manifested dreams. That's the best way I can describe my life right now. It's interesting to be walking in a space that you dreamed about and seeing things manifest that you dreamed about, but you touch them and you feel them and you see them. And I'm so thankful. Two things in particular, just the people in my life right now. I've met and collaborated with some people that have changed my life. One in particular is like my best friend in the whole world and has come in and totally transformed everything in my life. I saw a meme once that says you can find your soulmate in a friendship. And I truly believe that now. It's not always about love and romance. Sometimes it's just about finding that friend who matches you toe for toe, and you can go out and change the world together. And I absolutely have found that. And number two, to my RSGN team, for supporting me and being with me. I've said this before. When I started the Regina Sunshine Show and a lot of the things that I was doing, most of the people that are on my team now weren't on my team then. There were people that I thought would be ride or die for me, that we would change the world together, but that as I was elevated and my life began to change and I got more recognition, people began to fall away. And I was heartbroken. I'm trying not to cry because I really believe these are people we would ride this wave together. And what God did is He sent me some amazing people who have loved me and supported me, who've been in the trenches with me, with the awesome girls, with the young bosses, wherever we've been serving in this community, just because they love me and they caught the vision. And I'm so thankful today for God's vision carriers who have carried my vision, not my vision, let's stop, God's vision forward. We have just been those people that have had the opportunity to participate in it. How about that? So I'm thankful today for manifested dreams, great friends, and a team that I wouldn't trade for any other team in this world. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce you to my one and only guest of the day. You're live here on the Regina Sunshine Show with Regina Sunshine. Where? At Regina Sunshine Global Network. All right, you guys, you're back live on the air. Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina Sunshine Global Network. And I'm so excited to have our one and only, I know you're thinking one and only, yes, our one and only guest for this reboot of the Regina Sunshine Show, Miss Chandra. Chandra. Oh, I got it right during the break, just so y'all know.
She did.
Chandra Stevens Albright. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you know, I always like to mention how I met someone.
Yes.
And so Chandra and I were both a part of the 2019 class of Women of Excellence for the Atlanta Daily Tribune, Atlanta Daily World. Is that it?
Yep.
And we were line partners, I guess. Were you like right in front of me?
Sunshine.
That's right. So she was like right in front of me. And because they lined us up like kids, they gave us numbers. And they lined us up like kids. And first of all, the energy in the room that day was so beautiful and positive. And when I say some of the most amazing, accomplished women, and we have one of them right here. So thank you. Two of them right here. So thank you so much for being here on the Regina Sunshine Show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, you know, I like to start off also just telling our audience a little bit about you and what you do. And so with your bio, it says here, Chandra Stevens Albright has been the managing director at Kenny, is it Leon's? Mm-hmm. Leon's True Colors Theater Company since July 2017.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years, you made it.
I made it.
You made it. She is accountable for the company's operational excellence and financial sustainability. Chandra joined the nonprofit sector following a successful 22-year career at the Coca-Cola Company, where she led consumer-facing elements of the development and launch of the Coca-Cola Freestyle. When I saw that, I was like, that's so dope. That's so dope. It was fun. Yeah, the Coca-Cola Freestyle, the game-changing fountain dispenser named a world-changing brand by Interbrand in 2011. Chandra is on the board of trustees of True Colors Theater Company, the Alliance Theater, and the Atlanta Beltline Partnership. She is a past member of the Emory Alumni Board, the Emory College Alumni Board, and the Emory Annual Giving Board. You out here serving the community. She's a 2005 alumna of the Leadership Atlanta, and a 2018 alumni of Arts Leaders of Metro Atlanta. Recently, she was named a Woman of Excellence by the Atlanta Tribune and the Atlanta Daily World. So that's what your bio says. What do you want us to know about Chandra?
I guess when you talked about being in the right place for the people that you need to know to meet you, that's what I want you to know about me. So I grew up here in Atlanta. I'm a native.
Very few of those around.
Very few. My sister was actually born at Holy Family. And I grew up with two academic parents. My mom is a professor, still is a professor at 80 years old at Morehouse College.
Wow.
Yep, still working. And my dad was a fundraiser who mainly worked in higher education. So when I decided to get a chemistry degree, they were like, huh? But I was brought up to be academically curious. And then I got an MBA and they were disappointed. Like, oh, business, evil. But I had a ball. I had a good time at Coke. But what brought me to this place with nonprofit was a life tragedy. My father died the same week my job was eliminated at Coke. So I found out my job was eliminated on a Monday. My father died on a Thursday. And that's when all these different things, like the Emory work, I was always on the development committee, and the freestyle work, I was working with people that were really artistic in the way that they took their technical skills, their science skills with beverages, and their software skills, and I was a business person. All that kind of came together, like, you know, you need to really think about how you can raise money in a space where you take a concept and use it to transform people's lives. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up here. It was completely kismet, serendipity, whatever. I just kind of stayed out of the way of the currents of life and let them carry me, and I ended up in nonprofit, and I've never been happier, and I've never used more of my brain.
Well, I understand, because my background, actually, my degree is in chemical engineering.
Oh my God, another reason you have it.
Yes, yeah. And so it has nothing to do with anything that I'm doing now, but I love where I am. So it's interesting the twists and turns that life takes to get us to the space that we were divinely created to be in.
Right.
Anyway.
And you just don't fight it. So you know what, I'm too tired to fight it, actually. My dad dying was devastating, and then losing my job was not easy. So that kind of, you just don't have the resistance to fight anymore. You just kind of go with the flow. And like you said, Who knew? Chemistry and MBA would lead to leading a theater.
Wow. So you mentioned that week, which was a horrible week in your life. How did you begin to, I guess, regroup or get back on track? Because a lot of people, and it's, some of our listeners are listening, and they're going through things that are really hard. And like, how do I now start from where I am and get back or refine my life?
I had the great good fortune to marry the best man on the planet Earth. Warren is my husband, and I met him late in life. I was not trying to get married, and I'm really glad, again, I didn't listen to myself. But I had a really great support system. I mean, I had him he never really knew his parents that closely, so he saw the value in the relationship I had with my parents, especially with my dad. And he was really there to kind of help me appreciate what I had instead of mourning what I lost. And that really helped a lot. And then the other thing, like you said, your best friends in the world, really understanding where those core friendships are.
Yes.
And when you work at Coke and then you don't work at Coke, all of a sudden all these people that were your girls aren't your girls anymore because, well, you don't have a hookup, right? So really getting down to who are those real friends, those real ride or die friends you can count on, and having those folks to call and go, I don't know what to do. What should I do right now? Just, you know me, just help me because I can't think. So those two things really helped me get through that.
That's real, and that's real life, because so often we do believe there are certain relationships that are going to be forever, right? In our minds, of course, this person, and then there's a change or shift in life, and you find out that they were there for whatever season that was, and now because you're on to another season, they're gone.
Yep.
So the transition from public, I guess, to private sector work, going from corporate America, strong, Coca-Cola's corporate America, now to working in nonprofit. What was that like?
The biggest adjustment for me was this concept of your boss not working for your company. So at a company, my boss worked for Coke, that person's boss worked for Coke. In a nonprofit, as an executive director, you report to the board of directors, and they're all volunteers. So they're personally vested in the mission of this organization, but they don't work for the organization. They have a day job. So that was really tough because it meant you're by yourself when it comes to that group. So I joined this organization. Georgia Center for Nonprofits has a nonprofit CEO peer program where you can build peer relationships because you're busy. You're busy, work 20 hours a day sometimes. And having this network of peers that you could talk to really made a difference. And so that's what I did. So I learned that you really can't go to your staff and go, I'm really worried about this falling apart because you're scared, scared to death. And you can't necessarily say it to the board because they're like, wait, I'm not into the details of this. What are you talking about? Fill me in. And so having that network of peers really helped. So that was the biggest difference for me, having to go outside of your company to find someone to talk frankly with about some things that you were either trying to work out or fix.
I can identify that. I remember this company is the third company my sister and I have started together. And I remember being only to share certain parts of the vision with her because the scary things might scare her. And she go, wait, what are we doing? What are we doing, know? And so I had to find people that were in parallel relationships that I can go say, hey, I don't really know about this, and if I tell the rest of them, they're gonna be crying. Yes, so I can.
Are you the older sister or younger sister?
I am the older sister.
Me too.
You are.
Another connection. That's three.
Yeah, so it makes a difference to have those relationships. And so now that you've been working there
It's 2 years at True Colors. I worked at 3.5 years for another nonprofit. My first nonprofit out of Coke was a nonprofit called C5 Georgia.
Okay.
And I had to crack up when you talked about going back into schools. I don't have children, and this C5 was 8th to 12th grade. And it had community building, which was great. It had college and career prep, awesome. Emory Connection is great, but it had a camp part. So there were 2 28-day camp sessions in Walker County, 100 miles each way.
Wow.
And girl, first of all, I'm in ITP. So driving out here, I was like, are we there yet? How many more miles? That's today, right? So 100 miles back and forth, and then you get there, it's a camp, like dirt and
so you're like outside in the Georgia hot,
no AC, and the kids loved it, but it kind of wore me down. I turned 50 the year my father died, so that's where I went into this. Well, thank you, but the body was like foam rubber mattress, no AC, So I did it for 3.5 years, and then I got tired. frankly. But when you said that, those children, man, they turn 15 years old, they lose their minds. Oh my
I
God.
have to say, it was the company. I quit my job last year. I worked for a vendor with APS called PCG Education, and my first assignment at Inman Middle School, and I did say middle school,
Eighth grade,
was a shocker because these kids were having conversations in front of me that you don't normally have in front of adults. That you might whisper to each other,
Yeah.
but when an adult approaches you, change. They don't flip on and off. They just, and so that was like,
What? Yeah.
and so I've been away from it for a year now, and to go back, and I was just like, and I really was like, and y'all had how many $1 million on your table at the house? Okay, those types of conversations.
Yeah, and I was spoiled by C5 because these are great kids. They were kids that without this program they would have turned left and fallen off a cliff. So they were sweet children. Reach out, shake your hand, look you in the eye. They were the kids that if they were in that group, they would say, hey, 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 be respectful. But when they turned 15, they lost their minds.
Oh, yes.
So they were like sweet, and then they were like, huh, and then they turned great again. But it was like that one period in between, like, wow.
And, see, and that's the thing. And most of these kids, you would assume because of, the language, they might be bad kids. These are great kids. But this is how they talk all the time to their mamas and their daddies and their grandmas and everybody else.
Wow.
So they don't have a problem talking to the teachers the same way. And I'm just almost like, did you just say that, baby? Yeah, so it was different being back in that space. I'm glad to be back at Regina Sunshine Global Network. I made it. At the end, I said, my sister sent me a text. She said, are you running to the parking lot?
That
I said,
does not kill
girl,
you.
I'm in the car. You talking about running to the parking lot?
I'm in the car moving. That's hilarious.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at
True
your
Colors?
nerd. Yes.
So the way theater works is very different, and this is why I really like it. I talked about the board being your boss. At the theater, it's a dual leadership. So the artistic director, Jamil Jude, runs the theater in terms of the artistic product, what plays do we show, what are our seasons going to be about, who do we cast, who do we get to direct the shows, who do we hire to do the lighting and the sets and all those things. And my job is purely operational. How do we raise the money to make it happen? How do we talk about the shows? How do we talk about the company? How do we manage the finances, HR, that kind of thing? So he's the right brain, and I'm the left brain. It works out beautifully. So I do have a partner now in this job where there is something we're trying to work out. There's two heads. I no longer have to go outside, even though we always do, because other theaters have many of the same issues. So that's the scope of my work. So this is our show coming up, East Texas Hot Links. So my team on the marketing side took the pictures and did the design on this flyer,
Gotcha.
but Jamil and team picked that show and the actors and all those things.
Okay.
So that's
Let's actually put it here.
yeah. So that's the division of labor, if you will. So actually, let me tell the full truth. Kenny Leon founded the company. This is his last season, so Kenny actually chose East Texas Hot Links and all that process. Jamil will be picking up as artistic director effective August 1st.
Awesome. So do you have all types of shows and plays, or is there like a certain, brand specific?
Yeah, that's a good question. So our mission is to celebrate the rich tradition of Black storytelling while giving voice to bold artists of all cultures.
Okay.
So we tell Black stories, whether they're written by Black people, about Black people. That's what we do. And so this season we talked about moments make the movement. So that was our theme, that was our brand. It was about what's that one moment in time that can change the way things are moving forward. So Nina Simone, our first show, was about how the bombing of the church in 1963, killed those 4 little girls, how that changed Nina Simone's trajectory from being a pop singer to an activist. So that was that moment making that movement. The next show we did was Skeleton Crew by Dominique Morisseau, Black MacArthur Genius winning playwright, bad sister from Detroit. And we did her play, and it was about the last auto plant in Detroit closing. And these guys, these 4 Black people, are in this plant, and it's like, we don't know what we're going to do. I mean, are we going to be able to retire? Are we going to be able to find another job? And so that moment when you learn that your future might be at the mercy of someone who doesn't even understand the value you add, that was that show. This show is set in 1955 in the backwoods of Texas. I don't know if you know about East Texas. It is still a place where you could get lynched after sundown.
Yes, I've
now,
heard that.
2019. Well, this is 1955, and these young black boys keep disappearing. And there's this bar where everyone goes to talk trash and hang out. And they're talking about these kids and like what's going on with these kids, and that you learn about some dynamic in this group of people, that there's betrayal, there's surprise, there's connections. So it's like a Twilight Zone almost kind of thing, where you think you're going this way, but all of a sudden you make a turn. And that moment is where you really see the truth of what people can do to each other. So that's what the theme was, moments make the movement. What Jamil is talking about is called She Griot. So all the plays next season are about black women. Yes.
Well, I've got a play idea. I guess I need to run by
By
somebody.
Jamil.
By Jamil. I haven't
Yes.
talked to Jamil. My second book is an anthology called Lessons from My Grandmother's Lap. And it's me and 11 other black women telling lessons that our grandmothers taught us.
Oh.
And I've imagined that as a play is people sitting around the table talking, and it's like you go back in time, and so each scene of the play is the grandmother and the grandchild. Does that make sense?
It does. And one of the things, we only do 3 shows a year. And one of the things that when we grow up, as I say, because we're reasonably sized, we are what you would call a mid-sized theater. So if you think
Okay.
about relative size, the Alliance Theater is the big daddy in Atlanta. It's like $15 million. And then there's the Aurora at 4, and we're about 1.5. So there are
Okay.
4 or 5 theaters right in that space, and then there's some that are much smaller. So we only do 3 productions a year, and we do published playwrights. Some of the bigger theaters do programs where they develop plays.
Okay.
So when we grow up, we would like to do that, where someone comes in and says, I have this idea, and then we have actors read it, and then the playwright sitting there going, now that I hear it read, I might change this or that. That's
Sounds
a fascinating process. We want to do that when we grow up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but She Griots is all about, the first show is about how a woman can come in and change the dynamics of a situation where the neighborhood is gentrifying, and she's been all these different places, and this neighborhood is gentrifying, so we're really excited about that because that's what's happening in Atlanta right now. The second one is like a Mean Girls. Have you seen that show, the movie Mean Girls?
I have.
So it's an African Mean Girls play.
Wow.
That's the second show. And the third show is about Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who was basically Mahalia Jackson with the electric guitar, and her first rehearsal with her new mentee. So it's about a woman who basically changed the course of rock and roll, black woman who changed the course of rock and roll. So it's all about women, black women next
So
year.
y'all are set for 2020.
Oh, yeah. We think about these things years out. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really, really interesting. I would love for, as you guys, I guess, get into the process, come back and
We
maybe
would.
do some advertising and let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm looking at this space. It's beautiful. We do what's called community conversations. And so we're going to do a community conversation about the African diaspora when we talk about schoolgirls. And you are all about empowering black women.
Yes.
So I'm looking at this like, this could
Yes,
be,
and we have a
it's
space on the
beautiful.
other side, and those doors are retractable doors that we can double the space if we need to. So you just bring the folk in, we'll be here for
I'm
you.
gonna take some pictures.
Take some pictures?
Yes, but this I can totally. This space feels like you are all about bringing. You said it. I'm saying the words, bringing the community in and having these conversations, and that's really what we want to do with our plays. We're great when people buy a ticket and sit there for an hour and a half. Yay! But it's really more than that. We want to talk to you about it before and during, and then after. Give you a chance to kind of work through what you saw,
how it
Mhm,
affected
how it made
you,
you feel.
what it kind of brought up inside of you.
Right.
Yes.
We want you to. These plays are to help you see truth through the eyes of black storytellers and black stories.
I love it. So what is the vision moving forward for the theater?
Well, like I said, when we grow up, so we right now are the only. I know in this part of the country, we're the only people telling black stories at the center of what we do. So in the Southeast, if you're talking about a play that a company that programs around black stories at the center of what they do, we're it. Other people will do black shows, but they do other shows.
Gotcha.
Right? So we're really where those actors and those playwrights and those creative people can know where they'll go and their audience will understand what they're trying to say. So what we'd really like to do, like I said, was we'd like to be able to develop new playwrights over time. So it takes funds because people won't necessarily run out to see. They'll come see you because they know you from this.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody was like, I'm just coming out of school and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and no one knows who I am, being able to take that young person's ideas from paper to 3D, letting them hear it, and then having them figure out how it should look on stage and then producing it, that would be amazing.
Yes.
So that's the vision for us moving forward. We'd love to be able to kind of help bring the next voices, the next generation.
Yeah, I can identify with that because one of the things, even before I started Regina Sunshine Global, I'm a talk show host coach.
Oh.
And so people come to me with an idea. I mean, I have shows that I've helped produce on FM, AM, Blog Talk Radio, you name it, all over, People
Huh.
TV, everywhere. And so someone comes with an idea, and just like you said, for someone to have an idea and for them to, you to walk them through the entire process to their own set and their show.
Yeah.
I love it better than doing my own show.
Yeah.
Because it's like seeing their dreams manifest in
Yeah.
real time.
And then know you helped guide that.
I
And you
love
brought
it.
that voice into the world. Yeah,
Yes.
it's almost like I shouldn't say like having a kid because I know that that's very different, but it does feel like the sense of accomplishment. You've helped to bring this new talent
It is a
on.
birthing process. There's different birth. There's definitely a birthing process because you see even not just the show itself transforming. You see the person transforming as they see it come into life. I think about Miss Barbara Baylor that I mentioned that does our line dance show. 40 plus years in public health on the Hill in DC. Is here now in Douglasville teaching line dancing. And I saw her on Facebook and I said, you should really do that, you know, on a show so that people everywhere can learn all the
Yeah.
line dances. They do it at family reunions and on the cruise ships that, you know.
Yeah.
And she was terrified. But to see her come to life and
Oh,
to
yeah.
find her own and now to really own that show is like better than what I'm doing
I'm
right
totally
now.
going to tune into that because what was funny about camp, the kids love the wobble. Now, I thought the wobble was for me, like my age.
Oh, kids
limit.
still do the.
Kids were all the little eighth
Oh,
graders. I was
yes.
like, what? It was a blast. So it's multi-generational.
It really is. In fact, we had a dance troupe from downtown to come and do a class with her. They knew every line dance.
I
Those
love it.
kids, and when she asked, she didn't have to ask for volunteers. They were running to the stage.
Oh, I love it.
And so, yes, it's definitely something that you can do that brings the entire
Yeah.
family and everybody together.
So much fun.
So, goals, your personal goals for the future.
Wow. You know, it's hard to think about this. I just want this theater to succeed. I want this legacy as we go through this transition from Kenny to Jamil, and I'm relatively new as well. Just making sure that we continue on this positive trajectory. I've been one of those people that has thrown myself into my work, and before you go, oh, bad girl, work-life balance. I really enjoy what I do.
You
So-
talking to the choir over
Yeah,
here.
right. So I don't. There's a thing of working because you're drudging because you have to get it done. It's just so hard. But I really love what I do. So whenever I'm in whatever role I'm in, it's just like I want this thing to succeed, and because that makes me happy. I'm in a wonderful relationship, so my goal is to keep that the way it's going. I'd love to have a dog one day. I mean, I'm pretty simple. It's what my professional endeavors are. My goals is to make sure that whatever I'm working on, the people that are doing it, the people that are actually doing the heavy lifting, have what they need, that they're happy, and I'm helping to bring their talent out, and this theater continues to grow and prosper.
It sounds like you tapped into your purpose. You found a space that you operate in well, and you love every moment of
I
it.
do.
Trust me, I'm constantly getting complaints from my family and friends that I work too much, but I'm like, but I love what I do.
I'm happy. Yeah.
I try to listen. That's why Tuesdays I take off as rest day, and I promise y'all I will rest tomorrow before y'all start calling me. But
It's a holiday too, right? So
Is it a holiday
Yeah,
tomorrow?
Thursday.
Well, Thursday I was talking tomorrow.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have another break too.
Yeah, so I get tomorrow and Thursday, so y'all can get off my back about taking a nap. Well, you know, one of the things I do like to talk to my guests about is legacy
Okay.
and the legacies that we want to be left behind. So when it's all said and done and your name is mentioned after you're no longer here, what is that legacy?
You know, I'm the beneficiary of a couple of pretty huge legacies myself, and so I want to live up to those. So I'm going to start with my mom. So my mother is the 8th of 8 kids and grew up in very not, modest means in Virginia, and it was the first in her family to go to college. Well, this woman was she's a, oh God, what's the name of it? She went to Oxford, England. I
Wow.
mean, she's so smart. I mean, she has a PhD, but she was the last in her family and the first to go to school and just nailed it, right? She's just brilliant. And now she's still teaching at Morehouse.
Which I
She's
think
got
is so
all
awesome.
these teaching awards. So that's one legacy. It's just like keep doing what you're doing as long as you're good at it. And don't let, you're supposed to be retired, or you're not supposed to go to this school because you're poor, or all that stuff. She's like, pfft. So that's the first legacy. That's my mom. And my dad's side, my grandfather didn't have we don't know where he came from. I mean, we don't think he was an orphan or whatever. He ended up the vice mayor of Brunswick.
Wow.
He was a postman, and he was so friendly and so connected. He ran for mayor. I mean, he's the vice mayor of Brunswick. So another one, he's just like, I don't care if I'm, supposed to be an orphan and no one knows who my parents are. So just a hugely respected guy. His nickname was Palsy Wowsy. I know it's very corny, but it was in the 40s or whatever. But he knew he never met a stranger. He just a genuinely compassionate guy. And so I've made that part of my legacy too, which is to just meet people where they are and don't make a judgment immediately when you see them, because you're always going to be wrong. And so I just want to live up to that. I want to just be that combination of do what you love, kill it, don't let anyone say you can't do it. Like my dad was always like, go sit in the front row, no matter where you are. Unless the seat says reserved, sit right next to it, because everyone's going to assume you don't belong there. So you go up front. And so just trying to instill that in the folks around me. That's what I want. I want to just kind of be that person known for, if there's a challenge, she's going to face it, she's going to kill it, and she's going to make sure that she doesn't kill anybody along the way. She'll support those who help make that challenge go away, and isn't one of those, oh, you did the job, but there's 14 dead bodies on the side of the road. That's not me.
I love it. I can totally identify. Well, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll hear a little bit more from Miss Stevens. All right, here on the Regina Sunshine Show with Regina Sunshine. All right, guys, you're back live with Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina Sunshine Global Network. And if you've been watching the show for any period of time, you know towards the end of the show, I normally bring all of my guests back and I asked a question of the day, something that's meant to inspire or encourage our audience that's listening. So it's just me and Chandra today, but I still got questions for her. But these are just what I call practical questions, because I want our audience to be able to take some of what we say, begin to apply it in their lives, where it begins to make a difference.
Okay.
And so, my first question for you is, what are some things that you do on a regular basis, an everyday basis, to help you stay motivated or encouraged?
Yes, that is an easy one. Every night, first of all, I sleep 8 hours a night at least. So that's given.
Get your rest.
8 hours. And so the other thing when I come home, especially if it's been a frazzled day, but even if it hasn't, I sit down. I have a porch on top of my house. I sit down and read a book for at least an hour. And that just that just allows me to unwind from the day. It's always fiction. So just escape in a book. And it just wipes the slate clean. So that I can wake up the next day ready for whatever that day brings. And I find that you asked about motivating and energizing. It's not necessarily a pump up, it's more of a wind down.
Yes.
So that when I do wake up after my hour of reading and my 8 hours of sleep, my battery is fully charged.
And people need to hear that, because for some reason they see those of us who are out here doing a bunch and think, oh, well, she's just running on empty. She's not,
I used to.
or it's a natural gift or talent. You can just do this thing. No, there are things that each of us do in our everyday lives that helps us to continue to do the things that we do.
I used to sleep 9 hours a night, so now I'm down to 8. But yeah, you have to know what your body can and can't do, because if it fails, you're no good. So
Absolutely.
it sounds simple, but it's easy to just forget.
And you mentioned fiction. Do you have a favorite fiction book? Is there
I
something
have-
that you've read more than once that you like? This is it.
I
love this
read
book.
books voraciously, so I just chew through series. So I don't have a favorite. I just love mysteries and police procedurals.
All right, so mysteries.
So I just chew through. If it has a series, yeah, that's what I do. And I get to know the characters, and I'll sometimes go back and reread them. I love James Mosley. Walter Mosley, Lord. So as soon as his new books come out, I'm on it. There's a new one coming out February 2020. I can't wait. So yeah, that's what I do. I chew through, even though all of his books aren't the same character, there's still this feel about them, and the, yeah. I love
See, you
him.
lit up when you began talking about the reading.
Yeah.
You really did.
I love it. That's how I wind down. I just lose myself in the language and the situations.
Well, one of the things, and you people say, this is my first book, Regina Sunshine State of Mind, and it's actually my 7-step process for renewing your mind on a daily basis. And the number 2 thing in there is read.
Oh.
Find something you want to read. Read. If it's fiction, nonfiction, whatever it is for you, but something because reading is very personal. It's you and the book.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it eliminates everything. It's just,
Right.
that singular moment.
That's why I don't do Audible books, even though I know a lot of people do, because I can voice those folks in my head.
Thank you. I'm
and
the same way.
I can see them. And, yeah. So I know it's great if you're driving a long time and all that stuff. I'm not knocking it. I just haven't gotten to that. I just now got to a Kindle
Yes.
for vacation because, carrying
I feel like they're
ebooks.
invading my space. I don't want to hear, because like you said, you've got your own idea
Yeah.
of how people sound and
Yeah.
everything. And then they come with a different voice. You're like, that's not
Who
what
is
I
that?
thought.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Right? Who's this person? Yeah.
Yes, so I
Yeah.
understand. All right, question number 2. What is the biggest advice you could give to a woman that's listening on how to overcome her fears and pursue the life that she wants?
I guess I'd say to think about what makes you afraid of what you're afraid of. Because half the time it's you making yourself afraid of something when it's really nothing to be afraid of. We were talking about imposter syndrome before, where you get in this room with we got this women of excellence, and we're looking around the room like, wow, this person does heart surgery, and this person, and it's like, well, we're here. Somebody recognized that in us. And so I hear people say things like, they make me feel, or they make me feel, or I feel like. It's like, well, what are the real facts? If you're in a situation where you're up for a promotion, or you're trying to start your business, or you're trying to deal with the relationship, how do you feel? What do you want? I mean, the worst thing that could happen is you could say, I want this promotion. And they go, no. And then you say, why not? And then they say, because you're not good enough. Well, what do I need to do to get better? But you will never get that if you just assume I'm not
That's
up for
right.
it. So I think a lot of times we make ourselves hold back, and we make ourselves just not go for it because we think we might not be right for it. Well, heck, people are always ready to make you feel like you're not right for it. So if you don't do it for yourself, your mom might do it for you, but she's not there, right? You got to do it. So I think that would be my advice, is to really explore honestly about what you fear, and break it down. And half the time it's in your own head. It's somebody else putting what they think you're supposed to do or not do, and not what you know you're capable of.
I absolutely agree. Well, I thank you for that. Those are my 2 questions for
Oh,
you.
wow. Yay. I did not know
Wait,
what they
were you
were in
nervous?
advance. Like, what is she going to ask me? So,
No, that doesn't happen here. It's so funny when I interview politicians, they're always like, well, can you send the questions ahead of time? No, I can't. Just show up and see what happens.
Yeah, right?
I said, watch my show. You know I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to hurt you. Yeah, trust.
Well, I
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here and just for sharing everything you have. Is there anything that's on your heart that you want to say to our audience before you go?
I wanna ask you something.
You do? Wow.
Yeah, I do.
She's going to turn the table.
No, I mean, what brought you to this place where you are bringing all this wisdom and counsel, and just a place for people to hear what they need to hear? What made you do this?
Well, it's so interesting. So much of what I do now are just manifestations of what's been in me my whole life. I've always been different, always never fit in, was always seeking purpose at a very early age. But the show specifically, it's so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, I'll never forget it, and he was talking about starting a radio station. And I said, if you start a radio station, you should have me do a show called Get Your Sassy Back with Regina Sunshine. My sister and I have a women's empowerment organization, and our slogan is, we'll help you get your sassy back. And we laughed. A year later, he calls me on a Sunday night. And he said, you remember when you were joking about having your own show and being able to reach people in masses? He says, they're starting this station down in Bankhead. He said the founder is a guy named Mook B from the group D4L. Everybody knew him back in the day with the song Laffy Taffy and everything. And he was like, and I told him about you. They're looking for positive content, and they want you. And I was like, what?
I was just kidding.
What?
Oh, wow.
That was a Sunday. I went down on Tuesday. I never heard of Mook B. I was sitting in a meeting with him, and after he left, I was like, so who was Mook B, y'all? And everybody laughs. But that day, he gave me an opportunity. I went in thinking I was going to have to sell him on me and what I do and who I am. And he said, I know who you are. I love everything about you. You can start Monday.
Wow.
And it was life-changing. It was life-changing. So it went from there to now. You see I'm in a space where I'm hoping to give other people the same life-changing opportunities. So that's how I found myself here.
Thank you for doing you.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a beautiful journey. I'm loving every minute of it. I'm going to be 47 next month. Who knew at this phase in my life I'd be doing the things that I didn't even know. Some things I dreamed about, some things that weren't even in my dreams, but are absolutely a part of why I'm here. So thank you.
Congratulations.
I feel special. Well, do this. Tell our audience how they can follow you, like on social media, website, all that information in case they want to contact
Well,
you.
as I said with my goals, I want True Colors to succeed. So to follow me, follow True Colors. We have a Facebook page, KL True Colors. We're on Instagram and Twitter. Come see our show, East Texas Hot Links, July 16th through August 11th. You'll really be supporting the work of black artists, not only the ones on stage, but the playwrights, the directors, the folks that build the shows, run the shows. The film industry is growing in Atlanta, and a lot of those skills are transferable. We want to make sure that live theater maintains its place in this ecosystem, so please do come out and support True Colors Theater Company. That would support me.
Awesome.
So.
Well, I thank you for being here. To our audience, I thank you for tuning in. I leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Make sure you guys go to reginasunshine.com, nominate a girl for the Awesome Girl Award, support the Awesome Girl Awards, be on the lookout for our Awesome Girl book. I have to tell you guys, I'm more excited about this Awesome Girl book than I am about any project I've ever been a part of. My goal is for these 30 girls to come out the gate as best-selling authors and to change the world. So I'm so excited. So definitely go to Regina Sunshine and support us in any way you can. That's it. Oh, make sure you watch The Curve tonight at 9 o'clock here at Regina Sunshine Global Network. Those women will Crack you. If you need a good laugh before you go to bed, watch the curve. That's it. I leave you with my personal motto. I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning. We're out.